Welcome back. President Trump attended a board meeting at the Kennedy Center in Washington today. The meeting comes just about a month after Mr. Trump announced the termination of several board members at the Kennedy Center and then installed himself as chairman. Since that time, several artists and productions have canceled scheduled performances at the Kennedy Center. President Trump said today the center is, quote, in tremendous disrepair, and said he intends at some point in the future to work with lawmakers on Capitol Hill to change that.
I'm very disappointed when I look around. The bottom line, it has tremendous potential, and we'll work with Congress. I think it's important to save this structure in this building. I think maybe we close up some of the work that's been done and built because it was done terribly. It was done terribly.
Joseph Delguste joins me now. He is an actor in the Kennedy Center's production of the interactive comedic play Sheer Madness, a play I've seen at least 3 times. Not 3 nights in a row, but over the many, many years I've been in D.C. Joseph, it's great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Major.
When you hear the president talk like that about the Kennedy Center, is that your experience, that it's in disrepair, falling apart?
No, not at all. And my experience, I will say, is directly in the theater lab space, which is on the upper level of the theater, and it has recently had to undergo some extensive repairs due to some water damage that the theater had last fall that expanded into the Opera House. But there's extensive work being done. The building itself is old and constantly has systems that are being redone. I think they've put in for a new orchestral opera lift this year. So it certainly isn't some sort of dilapidated, disrepaired, ignored building by any means.
You perform all over the country. What does it mean when other audiences know that you work regularly at the Kennedy Center? What does that mean?
It's a wonderful feeling, and it does in the theatrical community. It holds some clout, honestly, because you're performing at this very premier venue in a major city and named after one of our great presidents. And so
it's not only nationally known, it's world renowned.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And I think, I do think that Sheer Madness is more nationally renowned than world renowned. Ultimately, I consider myself kind of blue collar in the acting world, but it's a tremendous honor to be there.
What's going on there atmospherically with this takeover of the Kennedy Center by the Trump administration?
In my experience, though our show has not felt any eyes watching closely over us. I, for example, was asked by representatives of the producers that as we rewrite jokes and as we modify the show to keep up with current events, that we do not put material in there that has to do with the current administration or with Trump or J.D. Vance. Yeah. I've been in the show for about 5 years, and we've always been very careful about if we're making political jokes or satire, we keep it even on both sides of the aisle. And nowadays, it's let's keep it on no sides of the aisle.
No politics at all.
Yeah. So that we just stay
kind of hard to do in a highly politicized city like Washington, D.C., which it always has been.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to do.
Does it feel in any way constraining, suffocating? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Claustrophobic?
No, it's
artistically.
I believe that amongst my cast, I just simply observe a unease about not only about our work, but how we feel doing it. There are a lot of artists that have pulled their shows voluntarily. Our show is still there. And our production, again, does not seem to be drawing the ire of the administration. But we wonder what that might take, or what it might take to trip that fuse.
And I want to make this clear: the advice or the counsel that you received in the cast about staying away from politics, that was an inference drawn, not a directive from the White House.
No, we have received no directives from the White House. I have not seen, I have not seen members of the administration with memos or phone calls. No, there's been nothing like that.
What do you think this moment requires? Because you just mentioned productions, artists have pulled out of the Kennedy Center. Is that the right way to go? Is that what this moment calls for? Or does that put the Kennedy Center collectively in more peril?
I think that's an extremely good question and a hard one to answer because as you hear Trump talking about, like he believes the Kennedy Center is in disrepair. He talks about it being irrelevant and trying to revitalize it in some way. I don't think that his claims about the Kennedy Center are true. That it is somehow this squandered opportunity. But I also as these artists pull their acts in response to his takeover there, I honor them for standing up for that, and I also hope that people will still find good art at the Kennedy Center. I hope that there will be folks that want to share their work there and who can. And I just don't know if that will be the situation the more Trump continues to seemingly tighten his grip.
I mean, artistic expression is about making choices.
Yeah.
Where do you express it, and what do you associate your form of expression with? And some productions and artists just say, that's something I can't do currently.
Yeah. And for me, I've struggled with that about whether I'm doing the right thing by continuing to perform there and instead of walking off of my job, for example. I suppose I pick my battles in that way. Same way that the president picks his battles when he endorses Tesla on the White House lawn.
And this is a battle that not very many of us were anticipating, let's say, in December of last year. Joseph Delguste, thank you for your time. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Major.